When I posted that video reintroducing myself yesterday to tell you all what I'm doing here on the kitchen shift, of course I hoped that a few people would follow me. But lads, I didn't expect over 4,000 of you to follow me. So thank you very much. And now you get to decide after you watch this video if I was really worth the follow. Now normally when I do a roast chicken dinner, it's always the usual fixins. When I was writing last week's menu, I just wanted something different. Now if you're new here, I'll talk about what I'm making in the video and give you a few tips, but I'll also have the recipe in the caption. To season the chicken, I made a compound butter, which is basically just a flavoured butter. I used a mix of fresh and dried herbs and then a few spices as well. To get a nice even roast, I just pop my chicken onto some roughly cut onions and celery. This just allows some airflow around your chicken. But when I'm cutting my onions, I like to do flat rounds so the chicken sits level. Put your hand in underneath the chicken skin first just to lift the skin away from the breast, just to make sure you can really get the butter right in there. And don't be stingy with your seasoning, a load of salt and white pepper on top then. That got thrown into the oven and then I made a dressing for the veg, which was just a mix of some extra virgin olive oil, some dried herbs and spices. And most importantly, make sure to give everything a little taste while you're cooking to make sure that it actually tastes good. Now for the veggies, I did sweet potato and then also sweet peppers, which I have honestly never purchased before. The sweet potato was just cut up really rough, and then the sweet peppers I just cut in half and took out all the seeds. Don't do what I did. Just cut the pepper straight down the middle and then pop out the center because the green part will just come off. I gave the veg a good toss in that dressing and that just went straight onto the same tray as the chicken and into the oven. Right, so this is a new one for me. I originally wanted to do polenta for this dinner, but I couldn't find any polenta in Tesco. So as you do, I picked up something that I had never heard of before, never eaten before, and have definitely never cooked before. And that was bulgur wheat. So I just got some onions and celery in a pan with some extra virgin olive oil and sauteed them down until they were soft. Little bit of salt. Always make sure when you're cooking, lads, to layer your seasoning. That's why everything tastes so good in restaurants. Gave the bulgur wheat a good wash in some cold water, just like you would with rice. Used it a bit of wine, then reduced it slightly, and then threw in some of my homemade chicken stock that I reduced to kind of turn into homemade chicken stock cubes. I followed the ratios on the packet of bulgur wheat, but instead of using just water, that's why I added in the chicken stock. After that was done cooking, then I threw in some cheese, gave it a really good stir, and then went in with a knob of butter and finished it off with some dried tarragon and just stirred it until it got like a little bit creamy. Threw the lid back on it and let it just steam out all the rest of that moisture in the pot while I got everything else ready. And the last thing I made was this onion and cilantro citrusy mix here to toss the veggies in. And my god, lads, the flavour of this dinner was absolutely incredible. I drizzled some of my homemade chili oil on top. This chicken was so moist, so incredible. Go on, sure, pop the kettle on and get cooking. Slán!